Your Excellencies, distinguished head of states, business leaders, innovators, creators, and my fellow Africans. I stand before you today not only as an artist, but as an African who believes that this generation has a responsibility to finish the work that history left incomplete. Africa is not short of talent. We are not short of ideas. We are not short of ambition. What we have been short of is access. Access to markets.
So there is an advocate going on, and we the Gen Zs, we the young ones, we are very, very happy about this whole thing. We have three mainstream line artists who we think they are most popular ahead of other artists, and two are advocating for this cause, and we do appreciate it. A lot of influencers have reposted this whole thing that we need a borderless Africa. So it is about time. I did a video the last time telling you, say, Aliko Dangote, the billionaire in Nigeria, once said, say, the struggles, the stress that he passed through before he can apply for 35 visas before he can travel across Africa, the continent, is so weird and overwhelming. And now, Sarkodie and Stonebwoy is championing for a borderless Africa. What I say, borderless Africa, and it is on the good course. Where the Maya have reposted it, Shatawale, like everyone. Stonebwoy himself posted it, like a whole lot. Sarkodie saying it's about time we get a borderless Africa, and I am here to give you the breakdown. Do you support that cause? This Sarkodie is speaking.
Your Excellencies, distinguished head of states, business leaders, innovators, creators, and my fellow Africans. I stand before you today not only as an artist, but as an African who believes that this generation has a responsibility to finish the work that history left incomplete. Africa is not short of talent. We are not short of ideas. We are not short of ambition. What we have been short of is access. Access to markets, access to capital, access to opportunity, and sometimes access to each other. Borders were drawn without us. Yet, decades later, they decide who can trade, who can travel, who can grow, and who must wait. This is why this moment matters. Make Africa borderless to me is not a protest. It's not a complaint. It's a call to action rooted in economic sense, dignity, and Africa's self-belief. As creatives, we see this clearly. Music moves where visas hesitate. Art travels where paperwork delays. Culture flows freely across Africa, even when people and goods struggle to do the same. That tells us something. The African people are already borderless. Our system just needs to catch up. But let us be honest about who pays the price for this fragmentation. Is it the woman entrepreneur with a great product, discipline, and vision who cannot reach customers across borders because the system works against her? Or is it the young African innovator with global ideas building solutions from bedroom or a co-working space, but boxed by regulations that limit scale? Is it the SME that employs our people, drives our economies, and carries our hopes, yet faces delays, cost, and uncertainty, simply for trying to trade within Africa? A borderless Africa is not about removing identity. It is about unlocking value. It is about turning innovation into industry, creativity into commerce, and ambition into shared prosperity. When women trade freely, economies expand. When youth scale across borders, jobs multiply. When SMEs move goods, services, and capital without friction, Africa becomes competitive. This is why I stand with the movement. Not because it sounds good, but because it works. Not because it's fashionable, but because it is necessary. Not because it is radical, but because it is long overdue. We cannot speak about single African market while maintaining divided pathways. We cannot talk about prosperity while mobility remains restricted. And we cannot inspire the next generation if opportunities stop at the borders. This generation has a choice. We can manage fragmentation, or we can build integration. We can protect barriers, or we can unlock markets. And we can delay the future, or we can deliver it. So today, alongside leaders, entrepreneurs, women, and young people across the continent, I add my voice to a simple, powerful message. Let Africans move. Let Africans trade. Let Africans thrive. The future of Africa should not need permission to cross borders. You know what time it is. Make Africa borderless now. Thank you.
So this is Sarkodie speaking about a borderless African country, African continent, and we do support the cause. That's why I decided to make a video about this whole thing. So let's watch what Stonebwoy also said just last week at the Accra International Conference Center. So let's listen to Stonebwoy's own too.
I go by the name Livingston Echekwame. I'm a proud Ghanaian youth. I believe that in this room is filled with policymakers and those who sign and write the futures of every individual on the continent, especially the youths, on papers. But it is time, now that we realize that the youth are gravitated to creative arts and entertainment. Therefore, please and please, we wish that you would actually make sure that you incorporate us in the policy making, and do make sure that you enforce these laws that will make Africa a brighter future. So when my father, chairman, calls on me to always be a part of this, I don't flinch. I make sure that with the influence that I have on the continent of Africa, especially Ghana being the home of APD, I make sure that I run to the call. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to lead this charter as one who came from the ghetto, who rose from the ranks, went back to school to get degrees and masters, so that I can be called upon at certain functions like this to still represent the youth of Ghana and Africa. Thank you so much. So I really want to call on all the youth watching me from across the continent and into the Caribbean to make sure that you grab this opportunity, sign the petition so that our futures can be bright. Because for all I care, everybody in this room has already made the most out of their life, and they're still putting it on the line to make sure that we get what we deserve. So the least we can do is to join in, use the same social media as a powerful tool to scan these codes and press on the links to sign up so we can present this at the AU come next year. God bless you.
So Stonebwoy on his X handle now say, the lines that divide us are not our destiny. Unity is. Youth of Africa, it's time to stand up, speak out, and be counted. Let's mobilize our communities, sign the petition, share the call. That's it. Together, we make Africa borderless now. And it is on a good course, as I said in my earlier submission or my earlier statement, that it is about time. Like I am saying, if you've not watched my video that I was doing a comparison between I Show Speed and Aliko Dangote, that I Show Speed has an American passport, which he don't need any visa to visit most of the African countries, like every African country that we have here in our continent. And if he can tour 20 African countries without applying for visas, is Charlie something that Africans, the leaders, must learn from. Aliko Dangote is someone who is trying to change the narrative, the negative narrative about Africa, and he needs to apply for 35 to 38 visas before he can travel to an African country to do business, to invest, to create employment, to create more jobs and everything. And he's passing through this, Charlie. So I do support, and it is about time we advocate more for a borderless Africa. Yes, it's about time we advocate for this whole thing. So Sarkodie and Stonebwoy is telling the African leaders, this is the time. This is the time. So Stonebwoy said, the line that divide us are not our destiny, but it's unity. Unity is what divide us as an African continent. So let me know your idea, let me know your thoughts about this whole borderless African continent and blah 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 blah. As always, I go by the name Blowman, and I am your proud American blogger. Accra.
So trouble na see sitana who say yeah, but that stress I some never